This is the 1986 Bullnose F100 Ford pickup that we're going to be doing. It's a project, and we're going to document the current condition of the truck, which is what you're seeing right now. We like to do before and after pictures of it. We've got some aerial views, and so we're just about to get ready to start pressure washing this truck so we can look it over just a little bit better than we are at this point. All right, let's get started. All right, we've got the frame pressure washed and cleaned up, got it in the shop. We're ready to start taking off fuel lines, brake lines, and all the things that will be getting in the way of the remainder of the cleaning that we're going to do on it. Now, what we have done is we've done photo documentation of where all the fuel lines, brake lines, etc. are hooked up at, because we're going to be working and overlapping with a mechanic shop, and we want to be able to provide them with any information they need when they start putting this thing back together. Now, we may end up putting all the lines back on it for them, and that's all right if we do that. I'll have to talk to them and see what they want to do about that. But what we want to do is make the transferring back and forth and getting things done run as smoothly and seamlessly as we can. So we're taking the extra time to do the photo documentation for that purpose. Okay, guys, I'm going to get started on this thing, and we'll be talking to you a little bit later. This is the tools we're going to be using for cleaning the frame. All right, now we're feeling a little bit better about this. We've been hours and hours sanding on this frame, getting it ready. We've washed it 2 or 3 times, degreased it, and we're gonna degrease it one more time, and then we're gonna treat it with phosphorus to kill that rust. And once we do that, then we'll wash it one more time. And one more time, then it's ready to paint. Well, I'm ready for it to be ready to paint, guys, I'll tell you. Just sanding, prepping these frames, one of the hardest things I do, but it's very rewarding when it's said and done. We'll show you guys this thing once we get it painted. Okay, we just got the truck frame out of the shop. We've been several days sanding and scraping, wire brushing, that sort of thing on it to get it cleaned up and get it as close to ready for paint as we can. However, one of the things I want to show you is there's places that are really hard to get to with a wire brush. I don't know if you can see that or not, but see those little rusty places in them hard to get to places? There's a few of them on the frame. And so one of the reasons we have them out today is we're going to try to, well, not try, we're going to take the sand blaster and clean those places up because we can get into them with the sand blaster. There's the rear end and everything, got it cleaned up. Looking forward to seeing paint on that. It's gonna look good. Okay guys, I'm not gonna spend too much time this morning because it is ice cold out here. And time the end of the day comes and I do all this sand blasting, wash and phosphate this frame, get it back in the building, I'm gonna be cold. All right, signing off for now. Okay, we're putting the phosphorus on it right now to help protect it. Okay, we got the phosphorus on it right now to treat the rust in the metal. We're gonna let that set for just a little bit and then we'll wash all that off and that'll have that frame ready to go in the shop. We'll dry it off and tomorrow we'll paint it. All right. All right, we got the gloss black on this thing and boy, it does look good. My goodness, how sweet is that? We spent a lot of time on that frame getting it to where it looked that good, but I got to tell you something. It was time well spent. That's top notch right there. We're going to do something here that I like to do, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's worthwhile. We want to clean all the paint and rust and everything off those lug nut or lug bolts, and it just makes it easier going back together and taking care of things for the future. It's anything like this that takes a little time. You have to weigh whether it has a payoff or not. And in this case, if you twist off a lug nut because of not doing this, you're going to regret it. So the payoff is just a whole lot easier to do your work later down the line, putting tires and wheels on it. Okay, we finally got the frame out of the shop, and it really looks good. Do a little bit of video on here. That snowy backdrop, it sure makes that black look really good. Of course, it looks good anyway. It looks a lot better than frame paint normally turns out. This is really good. That differential really turned out nice on this truck. With doing the phosphate treatment on the frame and then doing the matte primer on it and then doing the gloss black, this frame's probably going to last twice as long as it lasted out of the factory. And it's probably, well, I'm thinking it's something like 45, 50 years old now. So if it lasts another 45 or 50 years, that'll be good, but it'll probably last longer than that. Anyway, you know, and that's not to say it won't get scuffed here and there and chipped, but that frame ain't gonna rust for a long, long time.